maggot! Do you want to go from this to this? Well, look no further, 'cause you're in the right place. Too easy. In this series, you'll be trained to become the hardest, the baddest, the most feared soldier Tarkov has ever seen. You will crawl, you will sweat, and you will most definitely bleed. Now stop crying and get in line, Timmy. Class is in session. The Tarkov Teacher is about to begin. Episode number 1. Welcome to Tarkov.
Hello there folks, Infected1 here, and I'll be your Tarkov teacher. In this first episode, we shall cover the basic premise of the game, choosing a faction, general menu knowledge, and how to enter a raid. The events of Escape from Tarkov take place in the fictional Norvinsk region in Russia, a special economic zone that became a gateway between Russia and Europe, thus having preferential conditions for large international companies. However, it didn't only attract law-abiding businesses, but also corporations of dubious intent as well. In Tarkov, one of the largest cities in the region, a transatlantic corporation named Terra Group became the ground zero of a political scandal, and 6 months later, the political standoff escalated into an armed conflict involving UN peacekeepers, internal troops of the Ministry of Internal Affairs, and 2 private military companies, USEC and Bear. The region's borders were sealed off, and those trapped in the middle of the flaring up local warfare were isolated from the outside world. You play as a PMC, or a private military contractor, that is stuck stranded in the quarantine zone, and his mission, your mission in the entire game, is to escape from Tarkov. And if you want to dive deeper into the lore of Tarkov, I suggest go to Battlestate Games YouTube channel and watch the Raid series, which is basically kind of the game's plot, but in a movie format. So the first important decision you'll have to make is choosing your faction. USEC, which is shortened for United Security, is a Western private military corporation which were hired by Terra Group to protect their interests. Or Bear, which is a Russian private military corporation operating as a proxy for the Russian government to uncover the illegal activities of Terra Group. Now currently in the beta state, the differences are mostly cosmetic, and the ones which aren't cosmetic, like starting gear for example, are negligible. But do expect that on the full release, each faction is going to most likely have their own set of unique skills which will be added on top of the shared skills they both have, like strength and endurance for example. At the moment, it all comes down to how you want your PMC's face to look, and also how you want him to sound like. USECs have English voice lines,
No one's left behind my ass,
while Bear have Russian voice lines.
Хоть и мне тут пиздец как не нравится, но выхода у нас нет. Бля, бля, бля!
Although they do have an option for English voice lines,
Like in a movie. I got a bad feeling about this.
but in my opinion, they're out of character, and basically they're just the USEC voice lines with a Russian accent. It's literally what it is right now. But that's the beta state, and it can all change. The last major cosmetic difference is the clothing you can unlock for your operator. Each faction has their own clothing, and it all comes down to which drip is your favorite. And remember,
This is why only fools would choose Bear. Because in this world, you either drip or drown, Bear Man!
no, but seriously guys, bears have also nice drips. This is obviously a joke. Shout out to JUNCKER for making amazing Tarkov content. He makes crazy funny animations. So congratulations, you are in the menu and you are ready to rock. You can just press Escape from Tarkov, choose your main character which is the PMC, and just go into raid.
Oh, hold up there, Buster.
Guys, wait, before you go into your first raid, let me briefly summarize the menu for you. I will have an episode for each of the important subjects that the menu contains, such as character, trading and questing, hideout, and the settings. Right now I'm gonna be brief, but if you wanna watch the full episode about said subject, there's gonna be a card on screen that you can click and it's gonna take you right there. So starting with character, the area on the left is basically your inventory. This is what you're equipping right now, this is what you're taking into raid. Everything that you're taking into raid, if you die, you can lose it. The only items that you will not lose are the sheath item, whatever is in the secured container, and everything you have in the special slots. All the items on the right are your inventory in the hideout, basically your stash. They are not coming into raid with you unless you take them, like so. Next up is trading. These are all the traders in the game. Each sells different items. Whoever has a green tick next to them means he has a quest for you. So you go to tasks, you can read what it's about, and you press accept. Then you see the objectives and also the rewards. The same text that's over here is going to be sent in a message to you from the trader. You can just go over all of them and just accept. Quests that you have accepted are going to be in your character menu under tasks, active tasks, where you can see the name, the location, and the progress and the status. Next up we got the Hideout. This is where your PMC chills between raids, between games. It starts looking like this, and then you upgrade it to get benefits and so on and so forth. Also an episode about this. This is the handbook. This is basically the encyclopedia about every item that you know about in Tarkov. Some items you still don't know about. For example, unknown item at the therapist trader. You can press middle mouse button and you'll figure out it's a key. And once you figure it out it's a key, you can see that now in the handbook you have a new item. This key. This basically means that there are some unexamined unknown items that you have to take into your hands or look at the trader and examine them, and only then are they gonna be added to your handbook. The messenger has messages from the traders, and if there's any items waiting for you, you'll also see this attachment marker. It means that somebody has an item for you. You can also receive messages from your in-game friends telling you how much you are good at the game. The survey is for surveys made by BSG about the game, and these are the settings. I do suggest checking them out and tweaking them before you go. I'm also gonna have an episode about that, so don't you worry. And now you're a bit more prepared to escape from Tarkov, so you can press this button. And now as you can see, you have two options for some reason. PMC, which is your main character, he is the guy that's doing all the quests for the traders, and he is the guy that's progressing the story. On the other side, you have a scav. Now what are scavs? Scavs are basically the bandits that are left behind in the quarantine zone of Tarkov, looking to make a profit or a name for themselves. This is the most common enemy you'll meet. Most of them are AI, but also, as you can see, you can also meet player scavs, meaning a player controlling a scav. Now usually scavs will always have worse gear than a PMC. Now the whole concept of the scav is basically giving you free loot and a free raid, play without risking any of your PMC gear. It's always randomized, it's always locked behind a timer. You can not just spam scav after scav after scav, you're gonna have it timer locked every single time. And once you finish a scav raid, you can take everything you found as a scav and everything the scav started with into your PMC stash. So like I said, it's risk-free looting. What's also great about playing as a scav is that AI scavs are friendly to you. They will not shoot you unless you shoot them first, in which case they will treat you as a traitor and they will all shoot you like you're a PMC, and that's being a bad scav. Another important feature about the scav is that the scav is always going to be coming into raid much later than the PMCs. He's not going to have a full raid to loot. He's only going to come in much later in the raid, so you won't have as much time as a PMC. And that also means that PMCs will not encounter player scavs early on. More about scavs in the dedicated episode for scavving. Now you obviously want to choose the PMC for your first raid, and it's going to be easy, and it's going to be by pressing the PMC, pressing next, choosing where you want to go, let's say ground 0, because most of your starting quests are going to be on ground 0. Then you choose what time you want to go, either a day raid or a night raid, and you see the conditions of the weather. As you can see, each map has a different amount of runtime and a different amount of players. Difficulty is always going to be either hard or insane or something like that, because that's just how Tarkov is. Difficulty doesn't really matter. And right now I want to jump over to my main account to show you what I want you to do before you start your actual raid. Okay, so this is my main account. I'm gonna press next. We're gonna go to ground 0 as it said before. We're gonna choose daytime, press next again, and you're gonna get to this screen. I suggest the first few raids, when you don't know anything about anything, you're gonna enable practice mode for this raid, making it an offline raid without any other players. And here you can choose game settings which are fitting to you. I suggest first learn the map that you want to play. So put AI on none. It's either none, low, or as online. I would not go for medium, high, and horde because it's gonna make a lot of AI and it's gonna hinder your performance. So I would just choose none. Then we press the X and then we press the next. This is your insurance tab. Right now we are going to ignore it because we're going into an offline raid. I'm gonna talk more about it in the raid episode. So you just press next and you press ready. And no matter what happens in the offline raid, it will not affect you at all. There's zero progress, bad or good. You cannot do tasks, and you can also not lose items if you die. So everything that you're gonna do is gonna be okay. As you can see, it says training right over here, which is letting us know that we are currently playing an offline raid. And right now, we're just gonna finish on just do whatever you want. Rebind your keys, roam the earth, feel the game, do whatever you want. Nothing is a threat to you. You can always just press escape and disconnect, and it's all gonna be fine. You're not gonna lose anything as long as you're doing training offline mode. This is a great way to learn maps, to learn the game in general, without risking your gear, because it's hard to come back from losing gear. So this is basically your homework for this episode. Go do your first offline raid. Learn whatever map you want to do. Just feel the game. Just give it a spin, as they say. You don't have to do any objectives. You don't have to set any goals. Just go and immerse yourself and just feel how it feels. That's all you have to do for this episode. So yes guys, this was it for the first episode. Welcome to Tarkov. I hope you're going to utilize this guide and learn something new and enjoy it. And have a great whatever time you're having. See you on the next one.